On this channel, we often celebrate the great singers of the past, the legend whose voices shaped opera history. But today I'm beginning a new regular feature. Every so often we'll pause from looking back and instead look forward to the singers who are carrying opera forward right now. So here it is, 5 singers to follow who could be greats, and 1 more bonus singer. In this first edition, I want to highlight Jonathan Tetelman, Freddie De Tommaso, Julieth Lozano, Enkhbatyn Amartüvshin, and Aigul Akhmetshina. 3 of them I've had the joy of knowing personally, the others I've admired from afar. And then a 6th voice, one I only discovered recently, but which I think deserves attention. The first time I heard Jonathan Tetelman sing, I was so struck that I sent him a message. To my surprise, he wrote back immediately, and we ended up spending the entire morning chatting on Messenger. No barriers, no ego, just a down-to-earth man with one of the most thrilling tenor voices of our time. Tetelman's story is unusual. Born in Chile, adopted by an American family, he grew up in New Jersey. He studied as a baritone at the Manhattan School of Music, but left the profession disillusioned, working instead as a DJ in New York clubs. It was only later, after immersing himself in recordings of Pavarotti, Corelli, Caruso and Kaufman, that he realized he was not a baritone at all, but a tenor. He essentially retrained himself, rebuilt his instrument from the ground up, and in doing so found his true voice. Now that voice has taken him to the world's major stages, the Metropolitan Opera House, Covent Garden, Salzburg. His repertoire is already formidable. Cavaradossi in Tosca, Pinkerton in Madame Butterfly, Loris in Fedora, Ruggiero in La Rondine, Rodolfo in La Bohème. His recordings for Deutsche Grammophon, arias and the great Puccini show a singer capable of both heroism and intimacy. What strikes me most is the Latino passion that colors everything he does. The way he shapes words into an almost physical power. The vowels glow with intensity, the consonants cut like steel, and yet nothing feels forced. It's instinctive. He doesn't just sing text, he makes it pulse with life. For us as fans, that means hearing not just a thrilling voice, but a voice that communicates straight to the heart. This concert version of Che Giri da Manino is so thrillingly sung, so open and emotionally vibrant. His handsome face and presence and beautiful voice make this, I think, very special indeed. Before we move on, if you'd like to support this channel and the work that goes into making these videos, you can do so at Buy Me a Coffee. The link is right below in the description. Every bit of support helps me keep bringing these stories and tributes. My connection with Freddy goes back to London, when I was one of the 3 helping to organise the concert for Nepal at Spitalfields Market. Freddy sang in it as a student, and it was obvious right then the voice had presence, colour and potential. You can hear him here. Born in Tunbridge Wells to Italian and English parents, Freddy studied at the Royal Academy of Music. His life changed in December 2021 when, during a performance of Tosca at Covent Garden, the scheduled tenor fell ill. Freddy was asked to step in as Cavaradossi, becoming the youngest tenor to sing that role there since 1963. He triumphed, and from that night on his career was made. Since then, he's sung across Europe and at the Met, quickly becoming a major presence. His recording career with Decca began with Passione, an album of Italian songs that shows his natural affinity for the repertoire of his heritage. What makes him special is the combination of old-school vocalism with a modern clarity. His line is long, his sound open-throated and generous, and yet his diction is excellent. Every word lands. He reminds me of one of those classic Italian spinto tenors, yet never loses contact with the text. Yes, so there are those who might worry he might be pushing the voice too hard, too early in heavy repertoire, and it's a fair concern, but I trust his intelligence. He is a thoughtful singer, and I believe he will manage his career wisely. What we have in Freddy is a tenor who can truly embody the Italian tradition and carry it forward into the future. See here how the conductor is wallowing in the sound, and in the sheer no-nonsense production of it, he is simply pouring golden tones. I had the privilege of working with Julieth Lozano when I was asked to take part in a filmed version of Don Pasquale at Glyndebourne, filmed in the main house itself. She arrived with hair tied in Mickey Mouse ears, already playful and full of mischief. Then she sang, and these astonishing sounds poured out. I was singing Dottore Malatesta to her Norina, and the moment we launched into this duet, it simply flew. Sparks were flying back and forth between us. The energy, the wit, the sparkle, it felt alive in a way you can't manufacture. Then I knew we had something truly special. Juliet is Colombian. She originally studied industrial engineering before switching to music, then trained at the Royal College of Music in London. In 2023, she became the first Colombian to win the Audience Prize at the BBC Cardiff Singer of the World, and since then her career has accelerated. She has sung Susanna, Selina, The Vixen, and appeared with Welsh National Opera, Scottish Opera, English National Opera, and the Grand Théâtre de Genève. Her debut album, Alma, Ibero-American Songs, has been praised for its warmth and authenticity, shining a light on Latin American repertoire rarely heard on the big labels. I can personally attest this. She is one of the very best human beings you can meet. I wish her every happiness in her newly married life and all the success in the many exciting engagements now coming her way. As singers, we carry the weight of those we have sung with, the responsibilities of our shared journeys. When we see someone we've worked alongside succeed, it feels like part of our own story too. And it is especially moving when the ones who succeed are not only great artists, but also the best people. What makes Juliet so special is the Latin flair in her singing. She has fire, brightness, and a way of infusing phrases with character that is instantly captivating. Her artistry reminds me of the great Latin American women of the past, voices filled with sun and spirit. You can hear her sense of fun, her mischievous personality in the very phrasing of the music. For us fans, she represents something essential: individuality, charisma, and an unapologetically Latin voice on the world stage. Here we see and hear her spinning her beautiful voice in the song Te quiero dijiste. Feel her connection to the text and the beauty of her storytelling twin to that beautiful sound. Ravishing.
Tanto como
From Mongolia comes one of the most remarkable baritone voices of our time, Enkhbatyn Amartüvshin. Born in 1986, he studied at the Mongolian State Conservatory and began winning competitions at the highest level, the Tchaikovsky competition, Operalia, and the audience prize again at the Cardiff Singer of the World. He has since sung on the great stages of the world, including the Met, where his Gemot in La Traviata impressed with its dignity and strength. His repertoire centers on Verdi, Count di Luna, Renato, Rigoletto, roles that demand true baritone heft and nobility. What sets Amartüvshin apart is the dark, noble quality of his voice, coupled with the easiest top imaginable. He soars into the upper register without strain, the tone opening like a great bell. It is a sound that reminds us of an older tradition of Verdian baritone singing, where grandeur and ease coexist. For fans, he offers reassurance that this kind of baritone voice, so often feared extinct, is still alive and thriving. When you hear Amartüvshin, you hear the living continuation of that great lineage. This great aria, Nemico della Patria, is one of the great operatic moments, scary to sing with that tricky high F sharp at the end. Amartüvshin smashes. Proper, masculine, old school singing. And then we have Aigul Akhmetshina. Born in Bashkortostan in 1996, she grew up in poverty, was turned down by Moscow conservatories, and yet found her way to the Royal Opera House's Jetta Parker Young Artist Program. From there, she has risen with remarkable speed. Her signature role has been Carmen. On New Year's Eve 2023, she sang it at the Metropolitan Opera House and the critics were unanimous. She was the star of the night. She has since repeated it at Covent Garden to great acclaim. But her artistry isn't confined to Carmen. In Rosina's Barbara of Seville, she famously took a high D as Rosina. Rosina, an audacious ornament that left audiences stunned. It showed not only vocal beauty but technical daring, and that beauty is the heart of her appeal. The voice is simply gorgeous, rich, glowing and flexible. It has the sultry colour we expect from a Carmen, but also the agility of a bel canto mezzo. Her debut album, Aigul, released on Decca, proves she is not only a stage star but a recording artist of the highest caliber. For fans, Aigul offers the complete package: beauty of voice, charisma of presence, and technical brilliance. She is one of those singers you know instinctively will define her generation. She is yet to discover the otherworldly channeling that a singer like Jessie Norman can bring to this aria from Samson and Delilah. See my tribute to her, to hear this aria sung by a goddess. But the voice here is just so gorgeously full and rich. Revel in this sound. I want to add one more name to this list, though I'll be honest, I don't know much about him personally. But a Facebook post of his singing has been going viral recently, and it was so beautiful that I felt I had to include him here. His name is Bogdan Volkov, a Ukrainian lyric tenor who is beginning to make his way on the international stage. He studied in Moscow, joined the Bolshoi Theatre Ensemble early in his career, and quickly won recognition. First prize and the audience prize at the Paris Opera Competition in 2015 and second prize at the Operalia in 2016. Since then, he has appeared at some of the most important houses in the world, the Vienna Staatsoper, the Berlin State Opera, and the Royal Opera House in London, La Scala, and the Met. But what struck me most in that viral clip is the voice itself. It's a light, lyric tenor sound, fresh, elegant, and full of youthful ease. Listening to him, you can't help but think of the great tenori leggieri of the past. Singers like Nicolai Guerra, Alfredo Kraus, Luigi Alva, and even the young Juan Diego Flores. That same clarity, that same effortless ring in the upper register, and above all, that sense of style. For me, he feels like a true successor to that tradition, a reminder that the art of the lyric tenor is alive and well in this new generation. The way he keeps the spin on the voice as he tails away the dynamics, never once lifting his larynx or abusing his voice for cheap tricks. And the graceful musicality. I really want to hear more of this singer. So there they are, Jonathan Tetelman, Freddie De Tommaso, Julieth Lozano, Enkhbatyn Amartüvshin, and Aigul Akhmetshina. 5 singers to follow who could be greats. And one more bonus singer, Bogdan Volkov, carrying forward the lyric tenor tradition. This is the first in a regular series where we pause from celebrating the legends of the past and instead look to the grace of the future. Opera is alive, and with singers like these, its future is very bright indeed. Thank you for listening.